And welcome back. State Journal's Decision Makers, continuing our conversation with State Senator and Congressional candidate Evan Jenkins. And Evan, thanks again for staying with us a little bit.
Thank you.
You know, this race has really become interesting because when you announced your campaign back in November, you sort of had a barrage of supportive ads that came out for you, basically against Joe Rahal. But now he's come in with a bunch of outside money, and both of you all are claiming outside influences. From a candidate's position, where do you see this in terms of outside money and what's going on with these messages?
Right. Last November and December and January, there was money spent by outside groups doing two things. One, calling out Rahal for his broken promises on Obamacare. You know, he parroted the president's, if you like your plan, you can keep your plan.
Well, he was one of the deciding votes,
absolutely.
Actually. I mean, in the last few days.
And then stunningly, just in the media last year in the fall, he said, you know, maybe it's in your best interest to have your plan canceled. It's just a stunning admission and just out of touch. And his vote for the carbon tax in the progressive budget, where I think only 80 votes in the entire Congress, all Democrat, voted for that last spring, that would basically kill the coal industry, coal jobs, the carbon tax. So there was a significant amount of money calling him out for those votes. And what was interesting
is some of that came from the Americans for Prosperity, which are Koch brothers, but there were other groups also.
Exactly. So there was significant investment, again, all factually absolutely accurate on his vote for a carbon tax and his vote for Obamacare. So unfortunately, Rahal got nervous with this, and he went to Nancy Pelosi and the House Majority PAC, which is the PAC supported by billionaires from New York, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and are running these ads attacking me. The problem is that those ads have been found by independent fact checkers as being false and bogus, and actually TV stations have had to take some of them down,
including ours.
This is you know, George Soros. Anti-coal, that's the big challenge that Rahal has, is that he has been calling out this big money independent expenditure. Well, guess what? He is the beneficiary of all these ads being run on his behalf. They're being paid for and supported by anti-coal billionaires. So the challenge is, I'm honored to have support by anybody who is willing to grow our economy, invest in jobs, help our country and state progress. But these folks behind the ad on Rahal's behalf and attacking me are the most anti-coal folks out there.
Okay, well, let's talk. We just got a few minutes left, so let's talk about a couple key issues. Let's start with coal.
Yes.
I mean, coal is under an absolute attack from the Obama administration. I mean, and I'm not trying to take sides in this fight. I'm just saying the facts of the matter are the EPA won a Supreme Court decision this past week which said that all of these emission standards stand, which is going to reduce the amount of coal that is burned. It's going to close a lot of plants. Although worldwide, coal in other countries is gaining in popularity, although you know, it's because people have no power. So we're going to have coal here, but unfortunately the attacks that so far have come out against it appear to be aimed at Appalachian coal.
And no question that West Virginia has a bullseye on it with regard to this administration, Obama, Pelosi, the EPA, and I think Rahal has provided aid and comfort to that agenda. You know, he was supportive of putting the EPA on steroids and bumped up their funding by $3 billion in 2009. Guess what? We're seeing the results of it. He voted for the progressive budget with the $25 per ton carbon tax, job killing. He was opposed to the RAINS Act, which would have restricted the EPA's rulemaking. And no better example of the permit being held up on the Buffalo Mountain project, critical to building King Coal Highway. I am an unapologetic supporter of the coal industry, and while Rahal feigns support for the coal industry, his voting record is very different. And unfortunately, we have had to get to such a crisis stage. Every week we are new layoff notices. And the chickens are coming home to roost with the war on coal from this administration, and the people are starting to look to say, who was out there really fighting for us in Washington? And they know I will.
And I want to switch over to health care. Where do you stand on the health care law, and what do you think we need to do to change how America perceives that law?
You know, most of my professional life has been in the healthcare area. I want to preserve that doctor-patient relationship. I want to have the patient in charge of their healthcare decision-making. What has happened with Obamacare is a tragedy. Obamacare is devastating our healthcare system. It must be replaced and fixed in a way that we can preserve access to care here in West Virginia. We are having people reducing jobs. We have new taxes. Obamacare is broken. We need to fix it.
All right, Evan Jenkins, we'll have you on a bunch more, maybe a debate before this campaign is over.
Would welcome it. Would love it.
Thanks for being with us.
You.
Ruth Lemon's standing by. She'll be with us after this message.
24 hours